drinking in the AM's a sin. Old Cracker's just hanging with his old friend. Beer for breakfast, what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again.
Good morning, Lake Placid and the rest of the world. I'm here with the Lake Placid legend, Tim the Tool Man. I'm the obscure Ron, and I like it that way.
Morning.
Good morning, and good morning to anybody that's here watching or that might watch later. I'm pretty sure my producer is watching because I heard my dog up. So I have a flat tire. Tim is my flat tire guy. Tim told me to spray stuff in it. So that's what I'm going to do.
Fix flat, move along.
Fix flat, move along, pray for the best.
I gotta do it, my son.
That's right. But I got to go run to town today. Got to find this. Tim knows I don't know anything about where I'm going, but I have to find this.
Yeah, he's the guy in the military with the maps.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, I wasn't kidding. They said, "Do not follow Smitty. Whatever you do, he will get your ass lost."
Can't find the back door of the barracks.
No, that's probably true too. And then, it's so funny because I'll tell somebody, I'll say like, "Well, where we go?" Because when we do go places, we tend to turn. I don't like to follow a map or anything. I just like to go.
Right.
And we inadvertently end up lost. And she'll say, "Well, I guess we should turn left." I'm like, "No, you should turn right." She's like, "Left. Let's go on left." Then.
Well, that's like me. I've always had a terrible sense of direction, and I'll think that, like I've said to you before, oh, you got to go up north, and I point over here, and you're like, that's south.
Yeah, but most of the time, well, no, I can do that. As long as I don't have a compass, because the compasses are always north. I can sit right here and tell you where the directions are.
But the compass will say north is wherever you point it.
Right. Yeah. But what I got to find today is 264 Hen Scratch Road in Lake Placid because I want to go to the Sugar Sand Distillery and go meet those people out there. See if I can maybe get them to be a part of our little show.
They have the most beautiful still setup. It's a vision of art. It's really that cool.
I looked at some of it online. I think me and Tony are going to go take the tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, it says that it's grown in a 10-acre, or it sits in the middle of a 10-acre sugar cane field.
Yeah,
and that's
their ways.
So instead of farm to table, they're farm to bottle. Beer for breakfast. We like that kind of stuff. Yeah, but they're open Wednesday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. But they do the tours within the business hours, and it's at $10 per person. You must be 21, of course, because there's samples involved. The tours only last from 30 to 45 minutes, and you get the tasting of all of their spirits, a complimentary cocktail sample, and a $5 discount toward the purchase of any bottle. So, but that's not what really intrigues us. It's the murder at the mansion and the mystery dinners that really intrigue me and Tony.
Oh, you like that stuff?
Yeah, you go there, you try to solve the murder or the thing.
I'd have it solved in 5 minutes, and it wouldn't be any fun.
No, I don't know.
I'm good with that stuff.
I think it would be fun to give it a shot. Then it doesn't say the price of the tickets right here, but I think that would be fun. Well, it does. $50 per person. It includes a 3-course dinner, 1 beverage of your choice. There are vegetation options available for it. I'm a vegetarian because cows are vegetarian and cows eat grass. So. But yeah, I think that would be fun, and it's kind of a cool for a distillery to do that. But yeah, I saw their big tanks up there. Their actual steel. They got the pictures of it.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah, they're big stainless steel, and I feel bad for the poor kid that's got to polish that stainless steel because they went and hired some 16-year-old.
They're like 15, 18 feet
tall. They're big, man. They're big.
They got all these glass tubes going between them.
Yeah,
I'm dying to see that in action.
It ain't nothing like moonshiners on TV, but they got that shit going on in there, boy.
Oh yeah.
But I saw a documentary on how they make sugarcane moonshine and sugarcane, how they make spirits out of sugarcane. Because Clewiston is the U.S. sugar capital is
Yeah.
right there in Clewiston, or their head offices. So they're real big on anything sugarcane. So they kind of force feed you anything that has to do with sugar or you know.
We
But
got watermelon moonshine out there one year. It was really
that's
good.
pretty good too.
I'm not a big fan of like watermelon flavored things or like candies or something.
I love that.
But that shit was good, man. We drank that right up. Matter of fact, I went to look for it one day and my wife had finished her off.
Tony sent me a Facebook message last night and wanted me to make some apple pie moonshine.
Oh yeah, a lot of my buddies have that. I love that.
I told her straight up. I said it'd be so much easier just to go buy that store bought shit.
Yeah, it's not near as good.
It's not really moonshine; it's wine. I mean, quite frankly, if it's
High octane one, I guess.
not well, it's low octane. Just like if you get coconut rum or spiced rum, it's not even 40 proof or 80. It's not even 80 proof. So that means it's lower than 30% alcohol. And like if it don't catch on fire, why are you buying it? But you know what she used to like? We used to get those little bitty mugs at the liquor store of the moonshine. It's that moonshine company that they use, Old South or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but it's their moonshine company. That Old Smoky is their moonshine company that the distillers use on moonshiners.
Oh yeah.
But they have banana pudding moonshine.
Huh.
They have apple pie moonshine. They have, and I'm telling you, me and Tony could sit up here and just ruin a whole week off of. If they sell it in pints, and I'm like, we're not buying a pint of that shit. They'll find us dead because we'd be drinking and dipping bread in it at the same time. But whoa, this is good.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we got
I mean,
a whole
it
meal.
literally tastes like you're taking a bite of
Banana cream.
banana pudding. I mean, it's just amazing.
Wow.
It's good. But I kept that in there for her for a while, and she finally said, "Don't buy me that shit anymore." She's like, "We got one drinker in the family. We don't need another one."
Yeah, the dog's a problem.
Yeah, that dog, man. I've been trying to get him to quit drinking for a while, but he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't have our armadillo out here last night.
Yeah, probably ate everything he wanted.
I don't know. We got all that corn out there for her squirrels,
Oh.
and we got everything back there, but I don't know. There's also a tractor pull that's coming up in Okeechobee, but I think I deleted that. That was of great importance, but I think I deleted it. Knowing me, no, I didn't. Hold on. There you go. I'm telling you. On December 7th in Okeechobee County at the Agri Civic Center in Okeechobee is when this is. It's the Roaring Rex's Okeechobee debut. The tickets are on sale now. There's a lot of stuff goes on at Okeechobee. I don't care much for Okeechobee because it's just too crowded.
And you can't find it.
I do know how to get there because that way you go to the gas station and you turn left. And you keep going.
Sure?
Yeah, I had to go like that. You saw I had to go like that. But I wouldn't mind going to that, but it's late. And last year there was like 200,000 people there.
Damn.
And I don't even want to live in a town with 200,000 people. I damn sure don't want to go to one big old football field with 200,000 people in it.
Right.
But that's what that is. But anyway, I'm gonna watch the rest of it because this is pretty cool. That's the sound that makes the old man start his butter right there. It's amazing. And you know, there's so much how they got them tiny wheels on them just to move them.
Yeah. 1,000 horsepower.
Yes.
Do you want it? Yes.
I need it. I need as many horsepower thingies as I can get. That's why I like watching Street Outlaws. Even though I know if most of the TV series is mostly a fake, but if you get to if you watch the no prep racing,
Yeah.
that's just straight up good shit, man.
At least they do it at a drag strip where you could think it's real. These guys are saying they're racing on the street.
And they're not.
Well,
Yeah.
they got the street blocked off, and there's $2 million worth of semis along the road.
And not only that, all these street racers that are just they're little. They got $20,000 trailers,
Yeah, and a
a
$40,000
$100,000
motor.
motorhome that they're dragging all that shit with. Oh, but they're just lowly street racers that made their money betting. Come on, man.
Right.
And so Street Outlaws is fake, but when they do that no prep, that's
Yeah,
good.
those guys are betting 1,400.
Yeah, they're betting real money, and not only that, they get the Street Outlaws get their asses beat enough that
it's not all one-sided.
right. But that little Chuck on there with the little white Mustang, he's a hot-headed little short man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's mean, boy. Well, he's mean because he's got 17 other of his gang behind him. It's like we were talking the other
Oh
day.
yeah.
You know, because those are your ride or die guys, man. You're gonna fight for them even if they're wrong. And
Like, on the phone, you're a real tough son bitch
Yeah.
until you see them in person, and they're like, "Oh, I talked to you on the phone." Oh no, that was my brother.
Yeah. it was like Ron White said. I didn't know how many it was gonna take to kick my ass, but I knew how many they was willing to use.
All of them.
That's just funny as shit. Because he would just he spit in a guy's face one time. And you spit in my face, I'm probably not even gonna fight you. I might just shoot you over that shit. I mean I'm not even I don't want I guess like I told you, once I hit about 45 I was like, okay, I'm not fighting anybody anymore. I'm just gonna carry my pistol with me everywhere I go, and if they start shit with me, I'm starting shit back. But I'm not because you know that this is Florida, they got guns too. This ain't a whole lot different than Texas.
Yeah. Well, you never know who you're playing with until the game starts, so it's best not to screw with people if you don't know them.
That's it. Just keep your mouth quiet and just go on and do what you do. But see, my problem is I got this this don't disrespect me thing, and it runs deep within me, and I don't like these store employee type people. If I say, hey man, where's the chicken? And he's like, well, let me go get somebody. I'm like, you fucking work here. Point to the goddamn chicken, dude.
It's over that way. You know,
You know,
at least give me that much.
You work here. Unless this is your third day, you know where the chicken's at. Y'all move this shit around. You know.
Yeah, you spend 8 hours a day here. You can't tell me. You can't even guess where it is.
Oh,
Right?
it's just crazy.
I like when you go to a store and they actually walk you down the aisle to the actual item.
That
Like,
used to be.
It's a hardware store up here in town. They do that.
Is it W&W?
No, the little one behind Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that way.
It is that way over by our pizza guy.
Yeah, it's that way.
No, it's that way. No, you know it's that way. You go this way, this way, this way,
Yeah,
and then
but
over there. So it's basically if you walk straight as the crow flies, you would walk right to our pizza place from here.
probably.
Yeah. So I know what I'm talking about. Just don't put me. Give me. Yeah, I have to have something that I know. I mean, I know where I'm at. If you drop me in the middle of a field and say go north, I'm just gonna go.
Well, your compass will tell you.
No, yeah, right. According to my compass, I'm going north. I'll be like, let me go find the tree and look for the moss. Moss grows on the north side of the tree.
That's a gimme, yeah.
Hopefully, that'll be the one that helps me out. But yeah, there's I wanted to go. I wanted to go to that thing over at Turn 2 Brewery where they painted the gnomes.
Oh yeah.
But we missed out on that. But you know, what's today? Today's the 20th. Well, hold on. Today is the day, as a matter of fact. No, tomorrow it's the November 21st is the paint a palette at the what do you call that thing? The Turn 2 Brewery up in Sebring, and that's $45, and you get to choose from 10 fun gnome options, which include everything. And
Get to make your own art.
yeah, I don't know.
Kind of, sort of.
I don't know. I'd want to go there. I'd want to go there after like everybody's had 6 beers.
Right.
I want to see it. I want to see your gnome. Then you'll have gnomes with penises. You'll have gnomes with. You'll have the old.
Got the Pamela Anderson one.
But you'll have the gnomes in the race cars because there's enough rednecks here. You know what? Roth, those cartoons that Roth used to do,
Oh yeah.
in the big, where the monster's head sticking out of the car.
Right.
It'd be a gnome shoved in a little tiny Corvette that's all modded out, flying. I'd like to see that. That'd be all right. That'd be all right. But I don't. I just. I don't want to go somewhere and they tell me what to draw. You
Think
have
about
to.
the numbers.
You have to do a. You have to do a gnome. I don't want to do a gnome. I want to.
I want to do a birdhouse, damn it.
Yeah, I want to do something. I want to do something. I don't want to do a gnome. See, that's what everybody else does. I don't want to do that.
I could see your picture of a gnome holding a bottle, little bubbles over his head.
Dressed in BDUs.
The glass is half tipped and half empty.
got a
Melted ice.
got a big old pair of boots on. One's bigger than the other.
Right? Little shit kickers like you were on the farm, up to your knees.
Yeah, just walking around in that shit. That would be
Did you guys have the yellow shit kickers or just the black rubber boots
as growing up.
on the farm, man?
No, we had the black ones.
Yeah. The yellow ones, I think, are more of a modern day bull crap one.
These were black ones, and I don't honestly ever remember wearing them. My dad would butcher.
He wore boots, and that was it. Huh?
That was the only thing. Yeah, we wore boots and shit. Most of the time, I went through Nikes, man. My mom would say, "Okay, these are for school. Don't wear these in those horse stalls." I'm like, "All right."
Go in the barn with these.
I'm like, "All right." So that's when I learned that from the rest of my life, my mother's probably going to buy me black shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess my wife got the memo because all she buys me is black shoes. I mean, we would just go in there and muck the stalls. You don't think about it. You got to go to school. You're already dressed. You got to go muck these stalls because the horses can't be walking around in horse shit and get pissed. You got to get that out. Yeah, they'll give them a hoof rot. It'll mess them all up. And they got to lay down in there. So I would turn them out. We would turn the horses out. Then while we were doing that, somebody in the family was out feeding the cows, dropping. But it was usually my job to turn the horses out because everybody else was scared of the horses.
Driving your Pinto hay wagon.
It was a Chevette. I don't particularly like horses. I don't dislike them. I don't trust them. But it's because I was raised around thoroughbreds, and thoroughbreds
they're moody.
There's Moody's Arabians, and Arabians are mean too.
Oh, Arabians are probably one of the hardest.
Pasifino, man. If you want a horse for your kids or something, get a Pasifino, and he's chill. He won't bother you. Maybe even a good quarter. No, because I just don't like Arabians.
My idiot brother-in-law, he hooks up with these people that have this really beautiful horse farm. And of course, what do they raise? Arabian. His daughter's like 9, and he decides that she wants to ride a horse, so he's going to buy an Arabian.
Yeah.
I said, dude, you are buying the most fickle, pain in the ass horse to ride
They are
for a little kid. I said, she's not going to like this horse. Well, the horse was pretty, and it was fine to pat. She rode it about twice. It scared her, and she never got on it again. Now he owns this $10,000 Arabian that he puts out in the field and feeds all the time.
They're high-spirited. The best way to get a horse is to go up to Ocala and get a giveaway.
You know how the best way to get a horse is? Go to an old department store, find one of those mechanical ones, put a quarter in the side, and let them rock your kid to sleep.
You can go up to Ocala anywhere in Marion County on those horse farms.
And retired horses.
Not even that. If you can get a colt, you can get a beautiful colt with great breeding, but a lot of times horses are born with a cleft palate and they can't race.
Right.
They're just
great pets.
They're great. Well, and they're good hunter jumpers. If you want to do a hunter jumper with them, they're great for that too. But they can't run more than because they'll froth up and they'll choke.
I had friends who were barrel racers,
and they will do a little bit of that. But hunter jumpers is pretty much all they're good for. And the horse trainers, it costs a lot of money, believe it or not, to train a horse to do what they do.
Oh yeah.
And
there's nothing cheap about owning a horse.
No, there's not. So they'll give you the horse if you can move it and have a place for it. They'll give you the horse. But because it's either that or they're going to kill it.
Right, and they don't want to pay to support a horse that they have no use for.
Right, if it doesn't have any earning potential, then they're going to reach for them to keep it.
Right, you might as well have a car with a bad motor and just put it in your backyard.
Right. It's I wouldn't mind. Tony wants goats.
Well, you won't have to mow
them.
them.
One morning, and Tony's going to have a goat.
Well, at least you don't have to mow the lawn. Maybe that's what I need. A couple of goats.
Yeah, Tony's always wanted to go. They got chickens for cheap.
The only reason
Hold on,
I
I'm being called in.
the only reason I see you have chickens to make chicken salad sandwiches. They're stinky, dirty, nasty, pain in the ass. I've been on a real chicken farm where there's thousands and thousands of chickens. Talk about a smelly son of a gun.
What was that?
Chicken farm. Smelly.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing worse than a chicken farm's a pig farm.
Oh, I hate pig farms.
And
I like
pig
pigs,
slop. Oh my god.
I like pig. You know, I learned early on that
Pig is good on a plate.
if you go hog hunting, you can't make bacon out of those hogs because they don't have enough fat on them.
That's why people bring them home, fatten them up.
Yeah, and not only that, they taste like horrible shit because they eat whatever,
Right.
and they're so lean. They're so lean that they're it's just rough meat. You know, it's too gamey.
Right.
But if you catch them young and throw them in a pen and raise them up your way, then you'll become your pet. You won't eat it.
Yeah, the first time I'm not from Florida originally, so I wasn't accustomed to the way things are here. Well, my neighbor, we called him Hillbilly Boy. I mean, he's definitely was fit the bill. And he says, "Oh yeah, I'm going hog hunting. I got this new hog dog." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I expect he's gonna come home with like, "When I went deer hunting, you have a dead deer."
Mm-hmm.
He brings home this freaking 300-pound live hog.
Mm.
He dragging it out of the back of his truck, and the thing's
That's a
going
crazy
ape shit
motherfucker,
crazy. Throws it in this cobbed-ass cage. Then he's sicking his dog on it to train the dog better and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my god!
That's
I
nuts.
thought you were going hunting, not catching.
Oh no, I got some friends that hunt them with knives. They don't take anything but a knife with them.
My uncle killed a deer, jumped out of a tree, and slit the deer's throat while I was deer hunting. That was one of those, hey, y'all, watch this moments.
I mean, I'm not a hunter anyway. Everybody, all my friends are like, "You want to go hunting?" When I was younger, and I'm like, "No, why do I want to do that? There's a grocery store right over there."
You don't have to have a $10,000 gun.
I don't need
spend
to
a day
prove
in the
my
cold.
manhood by going and killing anything. I don't need that in my life.
I was really good at it. That's why I like it.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I had a friend named Howie Sims, and we went out one day, and he goes, "You got to be real quiet. You know, I talk a lot, so it's hard for me to be real quiet." And then, I'll be up there getting my Copenhagen out, flop, 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 flop. He's like, "God, you got to stop." And I'm like, "Okay." Then I'm real quiet.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
We're in these woods. I don't know. I want to say probably 4 hours. He sees like 10 deer walk by, but he don't shoot them. I'm like, take that bitch out. He's like, "It's a doe." I'm gonna give a fuck. It's a deer.
He wanted venison. There
He
it
wants
is.
something to eat. Shoot it. I want to go home, man. I got shit to do. This is not working for me. But he's like, "No, we come out here and we stay for the whole week right here." I'm like, "Yeah, I can't do that, bro. I mean, I'm not. I can go camping now. If I'm on a lake, I can go camping, stay out there for 2 months, not even talking to nobody.
Yeah, because there's a bonfire and a
There's
bunch of
something.
booze.
There's just something to do. But just sitting there being real quiet, and they got this other guy who won't talk, and he's sitting 2 feet from you, so you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs. At that point, that you just start shooting the trees, I hear something, but I can't deal without some noise in the background. That bugs me.
These diehard hunters, they all have these theories where they got to keep their hunting jacket and their hunting pants in bags of leaves out hanging in a tree for the night so there's no human scent. And they put the deer piss on their boots to cover their scent. I used to sit under a tree with 4 beers, cracking a can of beer, smoking cigarettes, and I would shoot deer like they were going out of style. I'm walking out of the woods one day, gun slung up over my shoulder, smoking a cigarette, walking down a wide open logging trail, and the biggest, most beautiful deer I ever saw stood 50 feet in front of me. I had, he spotted me. He started snorting and stomping the ground and raising hell, so I just froze. And of course, the cigarette's sitting there burning away at your lips, and you're like, oh shit, what do I do now? So I quick, when he turned his head for one split second, I go, spit it out. He heard that, boy. He come twisting his head right around. And then I'm slowly moving my foot over to stomp it out so he didn't catch the smoke or anything, you know. And I kept standing there. Finally get the gun in front of me. And I'm like, just turn your head once, you son of a bitch. Turn it once. He turned his head. I got the gun halfway around. And then he looks right at me, stomps some more. This went on for a half an hour. And I'm standing right in plain sight. He could not mistake me for a tree.
Right.
And finally, I did get a shot off at him. I hit him, but I think I caught him in the ass end because he spun sideways and like fell. And I'm like, got him. Well, you don't run right up on the deer. You let him bleed off, and then you go get him. So I stood there for a minute, lit up a cigarette, waiting for this. Then I see him again, a little further up. I take a shot at him as he came out from behind the bush, and I think I hit him again. So I stood there and waited. Then I went directly to that spot, hung my orange hunting cap on that tree so I could go back to the spot if I lost the trail. And sure enough, he was on a heavily traveled trailer. There's a million marks.
Right.
You know, you couldn't track him. There was a few spots of blood, but then they dried up, and they found this young kid shot his first buck ever. It had 2 bullet holes in it, full of gangrene, one in the ass, one just nicked the top of his rear quarter.
No kidding.
And those, I think, were my 2 shots. But the rack in the head was so big on this deer, he had it laid in the back of his pickup with the tailgate up. You could see half the rack sticking out above the tailgate.
Wow.
This thing belonged in a magazine. It was a stomper.
They got big deer where you're from. We don't have those here. We have Great Danes that run around with
with little horns.
With horns on top of them.
They eat good though.
I knew guys that when their wife was on her period, they would take her pads, pads, and take them out there. And they say that.
You put them in a medicine bottle, cut a few slots in it, put a coat hanger or something, hang it in a tree, and it'll draw the deer in because they smell that.
That ain't hunting, dude.
That's trapping.
That ain't hunting, right? That's
technically trapping. In New York, that's against the law because you're not allowed to bait the deer. Like you can't put a salt lick, you can't dump corn, you can't. And if you do, you got to be so many yards away.
Yeah, that ain't hunting to me. I mean, if you're on your own property and that, but
hunting to me is waiting, tracking, knowing the deer, knowing what they're doing, and outsmarting them. Yeah. That's hunting.
I don't want to offend anybody, and if I do, then they deserve to be offended. But
if they do, you're doing it right.
I'll tell you what I don't like is I don't like these trophy hunters.
Right.
They'll go out there and they'll shoot it for the rack, and then they'll cut his head off and leave the deer there.
The meat, right? Or they'll cut the rear quarters and leave the rest of the deer.
Yeah, and I don't kind of that too much. I don't like that.
Kill it and eat it, or don't kill it.
Yeah, if you're not gonna. Yeah, if you're. Yeah, that and that's a lot of times that's why I don't really get a whole lot into fishing, because I love to fish, but I catch them, then I want to throw them back. But if they swallow the hook, that means I got to clean that son of a bitch.
Right.
And I will.
Kind of inhumane to just let them die, but turtles got to eat too.
I know, but still, and I don't want to feed. We got so many turtles out back, man, and in that pond right there. Turtles. I mean, that pond there, I'm telling you, though, you go out to that pond that's on the screen right now.
Turtle pond.
If you know how to throw a lure,
you I see our beer cans. They're dancing on the building.
Yes, they are. I did that especially for you.
I feel special.
You are special. You are short school bus kind of stuff.
Got to turn the helmet sideways so I don't lick the windows.
5 to 6 pound bass in that little pond. Ate up with it. It's so full that you can go out there. I used to go out there I used to feed them every morning. And I would take a, I know, but fed the fish too. But I would take a scooper, like an ice scooper,
right,
and sling it out. And I mean, as soon as it hit, the fish were tearing it up. And you can see if you go down at the right time of year, I don't know when the spawn is, you can see that they spawn all the way around that pond.
Yeah, we get their little waller spot in.
And you can sit out there and watch the fish catch brim that are that wide. I mean, I'm not talking about hand-sized brim. I'm talking about nobody fishes that.
Right. Well, it's private property.
Right. It's nobody fishes that. So I'll go out there and throw a lure and pull it up. Now, if I catch a bass out of that, I run it to the house and I clean it, and we bake that with lemon.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you, that is because it's clean.
Right.
There's no chemicals. There's no chemicals at all on Venus Ranch. None.
No, there ain't no freaking sewer plant next
No.
door pumping shit in there.
No, that's straight spring water that's come up, and it's clean. The only reason that it's not crystal clear is because there's so many fish in it.
Keeps it stirred.
The problem is that there's 5 ponds there, and the gators go from the one behind Marvine's place, then the one right behind where we were, our place. Then there's one behind the barn, and then there's one. Actually, there's 2 over on the right hand side, and each one of them's got its own particular gator. So they switch from the pond to pond. And 2 Easters ago, me and Tony were sitting on the porch, and I said, "Would you look at that shit?" And Jeff was going crazy. There's a gator hauling ass, and I got it on video, and you can hear me going. I say, I hear him, Jethro, or I see him, Jethro.
Hey.
And then I go, get over from here, and then that gator just takes off, boy, he runs. Then a couple, not even 3 hours later, right off my back steps, I play with Jethro with this boomerang every morning there for hours, 2 or 3 hours a day, every day.
Right.
So I look back, and Jethro starts barking again, and there's at least a 9-footer leaning up against the fence. He's just not crawling on it, but he's leaning up against it. And I said, get in the house. I told him, no. So I grab my camera and I walk out and I'll go back down the steps and I said, get from around here, get. And that motherfucker just took off and run up to the ridge.
They can move pretty quick for a little ways.
Yeah, they're quick, man. And they tell you to run zigzag, you ain't gonna get that far.
No.
You just better run faster than the guy you're with.
That's right. You gotta leave faith.
That's what you gotta do. Because it's about a year and a half ago, some dumbass went to go take a piss. It was at a bar somewhere down here. He went to go take a piss and decided he was going to go swimming. I think he was drunk and fell in the water.
Could very well be.
But anyway, he fell in and they bit his hand off. The gator bit his hand right off. He goes, oh, and he was a carpenter.
Ooh.
And he was right-handed and it bit his right hand off. He goes, no, I'll manage. And I'm like, you ain't managing.
You found nails with that now.
You ain't managing. Right now, you're just in the deep sense of denial because he's like, no, I'll be okay. And I'm like, you ain't going to be okay. I'm telling you, he
learn real fast to be ambidextrous.
Oh yeah,
There's another big word I've used today. Holy crap, 2 in a row.
I'm telling you, this morning show thing, we're getting smarter every day.
Jeez. You're so smart, you might get late if you listen to this show.
I might. Oh, that's right. I always forget to play that. I stole that
was
clip.
a subtle reminder.
I stole that clip from Monkey in the Morning. And what had happened was Monkey said, or some guy said, I met some woman who listened to your show, and we got married, and we just had a kid. And he goes, oh, so you get laid if you listen to this show.
There you
And
go.
that's where I took it from, is I clipped it from that. But it's, Monkey in the Morning is pretty good. He went off live for 20 minutes last night. Just didn't mean to. It's just some lightning or something. He's got Starlink, that Elon Musk shit. I don't trust that, man. I like Elon Musk, I guess. I mean, he's smart, or either his money is.
Yeah, smart people around.
I don't know how
nothing
smart
else.
Elon Musk is. I didn't know that he's got a lot of money.
Right.
And if you've got a lot of money, you can hire the smartest people in the world, but he might not know how to tie
You
his
can buy
shoes, for all I
smart,
know. For all I know, he might not know how to tie his shoes.
What was that movie with Adam Sandler and he had the butler and he goes, I want to change of socks.
I don't remember.
It was like,
Mr. Deeds?
yeah, because he did the greeting cards.
Yeah, that was. I like some Adam Sandler stuff. He's kind of funny.
Yeah, he's got his moments. And if you ever watch more than a few of his movies, it seems like it always has the same group of buddies in the movies.
He does it. Did I tell you about the cars? He bought all of his buddies a car.
Oh, yeah. So did Kevin Hart. He bought a bunch of cars for his buddies. They had a little show. It didn't last long.
When they did he does the same show with pretty much the same people every time.
Yeah.
And one of the shows did really well, and they all woke up with a Lamborghini or a Ferrari in their front yard. And
I'm the bad lot.
yeah, he said Rob Schneider called him, who did Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that's funny.
Mel Gigolo. He called. He goes, "Hey man, I've got these people here parking your car in my front yard. And Adam Sandler goes, yeah, just keep it there for a little while. I need you to keep it there. You can drive it if you want to. He's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I ain't driving no
He's like,
$150,000
no,
car.
I'm good. So then he ended up calling Chris Rock, that was in the movie too. And he goes, hey, man, this is some crazy shit. Adam Sandler just had his car dropped off at my house. And he goes, yeah,
Yeah, it is driving my house.
he says, what'd you get? He goes, what do you mean, what did I get? He goes, well, I got a Honda Accord. What did you get? He goes, I didn't get none of it. This is Ferrari. He goes, no, that's our car, man. He gave us all a Ferrari. It was either a Lamborghini. He gave us all one. All of them got one.
Must be nice.
So if you make $30 million off a movie, you already got all that money.
Yeah, one movie.
So what difference does it make to you? I mean, those guys help you make that money off of that movie. Plus, they got paid too. But these are A-list actors. These are people making the Tom Cruise money. You know. So I think that was a pretty cool gesture. You share the wealth, dude. When things happen, you share it with the people that help make you get there.
Pass it forward, right?
No,
No,
Tony. Tony likes to go to McDonald's and pay it forward. The people didn't do nothing for you, baby. She's like, no, but it's called karma. Fuck karma. Karma didn't work for them $12. It wasn't a big deal when McDonald's was priced normally, but now it's $30 to go in there and get just me and her to have
two people and a lunch.
And
$30.
A drink, a couple
no
drinks.
beer.
No, nothing.
I swear to God, McDonald's could triple their volume if they had a draft system. Instead of me having to reach to the back seat for a beer, I could just order one out the window.
In Europe, they do serve beer in their McDonald's.
Oh, that's a good place to be.
Yeah.
Nice to visit.
Probably warm beer, though.
Beer's beer.
Yeah, I guess. You could always drop ice in it, which I've done.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I used to go to Hooters when I was younger, and they would bring you a pitcher of beer with ice in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would fill you you got the right amount of beer because they would basically bring you two pitchers, but they put a bag of ice in it.
Mm-hmm.
Then someone bitched and said that that's not sanitary, so they couldn't do that anymore. Let me tell you something.
Now they've got pitchers that have a cylinder built in the bottom of them, so you turn it over, unscrew this lid, fill that with ice that doesn't contact the beer, put the lid back on, and then fill the pitcher up like a normal pitcher.
Well, that's pretty cool too, but they were bitching about the bags not being sanitary. You ever seen the ice machine?
Yeah, they're supposed to be cleaned like weekly.
I'm telling you that every ice machine you ever run into is going to have.
Go to a hotel. Tell me how often they sterilize the ice machine.
Hey, look, man. When we were kids, I worked at this place called Rack's Fast Food, and we had an icy machine, or not icy, but a little ice cream machine. That thing was always filthy, and the ice machine was always filthy. Now our ice cream machine always worked, always. Guy came in 5 minutes before closing every night to get one.
Unlike the ones at McDonald's that never worked.
I heard that that's a conspiracy to get you to go in there.
Just to sucker you in. I don't even think they have them anymore.
I don't know, but that's one of the things Donald Trump said. He goes, I will make sure McDonald's fixes all their ice cream machines. But I don't like to go out. I like Dairy Queen because I like to get the Heath Blizzard.
Oh, I love the Blizzard.
Yeah. I don't like the Oreo Blizzard, and I don't like too many candies put in it, but I like a little bit. But that's why I like those turtle ice creams and the butter pecan ice creams with the toffee in them.
Not pecan.
Pecan, man. Pecan. Butter pecan is what I call it. I don't think I say pecan. I don't know. See, because I grew up in redneck Micanopy, Florida, and very urban Omaha, Nebraska.
And you had pecan trees.
No, Tony's family raises pecans. I think we might have had one or two, but nothing. No, we didn't have. Horses will chew the shit out of bark, man.
Yeah.
And they will crib a fence. Cribbing is when they'll eat the whole top rail of that fence, man.
Oh, yeah. They like stomping on it.
They will chew that up, and there's nothing you can do. Electric wire won't stop them. When they get in that move to crib, they're cribbing. And I don't know why it's called cribbing. It's a frog. No, it's a squirrel.
On the news this morning, they showed this white squirrel on a tree, and they go, well, I wonder how he got there. I mean, he fucking walked. How else do you think he got there? He didn't take a freaking school bus.
There ain't too many. The white animals, albinos don't live very long because nature.
They're easy predators.
Yeah, and unless there's snow, there ain't a whole lot of snow down here.
No, just roll.
But I've seen the hawks drive down and snatch blackbirds out of the sky. I've sat there and watched it. The blackbirds will be flying, and the hawk will go and snap him and grab him. And I've seen owls grab the crazy. I've watched gray heron.
Yeah.
I've watched them out of that pond right there. I've watched them grab snakes out of it and eat the snakes.
Oh, good for them.
And me and Tony always called them our sandhill cranes because they would always bring us the babies every year.
Oh.
They would bring us all the way. Okay, if you're looking at that pond on the right hand side back this way, there's another gate, and that's where the other pond is, and that's what they would bet. That's where they would have their babies every year.
Oh, they bed down over there.
And we fed them corn, even though that's illegal. We'd feed them, and they'd come over there every morning at the same time.
Yeah, but they'd go out in the field and eat all the corn they want. You just gotta give it to them.
Right. And I would just tell every time someone said that's illegal, I said, well, that's for the cows. It ain't my fault if the birds eat it.
Yeah, so you put bird food out here, it doesn't say squirrel food.
Right. And so they would come, and I saw them, one of those, when the gators were migrating from pond to pond, them two sandhill cranes, but they bitched that gator up, dude. Bitched that gator up. That gator's like walking this way, and they just walked over there and spread their wings, both of them. It was like some kind of dusty roads.
Oh yeah, they blow up something fierce.
It was tag teaming that something. It was ready, and that gator literally turned around and went back in the pond, dude. It was like, I'm done.
That's bullshit. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, people say, "Oh, the sandhill cranes are great." Sandhill crane will beat your ass. I had corn in my hand one time and stuck it down there, and he hit it with that beak. Well, I felt like somebody hit me in the hand with a ball peen hammer. That shit hurt, man. It was crazy. It hurt. It was
my wife's friend, the chicken lady, lives next street over.
Yeah.
She had some that were in her backyard, and she could feed them right out of her hand. They'd come right up and just take her right out of her hand.
They weren't as mean as mine.
Apparently not.
Well, you should. If you look at some of my old videos, there's Buttercup and Diablo Marvine's cows. And Buttercup was the one that doesn't have horns. They're both females, lesbian cows. What they are. Oh, Buttercup.
Equal rights. Yeah.
Buttercup is mean. Buttercup is mean. Now listen, we were sitting on the back porch, and we moved Buttercup and Diablo to this field. Well, they didn't want to be in this field because the guy that lives in the farm behind us over there, his kids come home from school at 4:00. And they go feed their cows, and they always throw special alfalfa over for Buttercup and Diablo. At 4:30, well, at 4:00,
those cows are over there waiting.
Buttercup,
drinking in the AMs is sin.
What happened?
What had happened? Something
Just
happened.
hanging with his old friend.
I did something wrong.
I guess the show's over.
Almost. Let me see how this goes. Anyway, Buttercup, me and Tony were watching. I said, Tony, Buttercup's fixing to bust through that fence. And right there at the opening of the barn, because right here where that grid is on the far left, that's where you park the tractor. But right past that is where the gate is to go into the horse stable. That's the horse stable.
Oh yeah.
Well, Buttercup literally chest up,
happy fellas,
and busted through that fence. Busted through it, and she thought she was just going to hop over. She wasn't hopping over shit because she's a 475-pound cow. She just went boom and busted through it and ran up there. But Diablo's the old girl. She's got the big horns on her. And she will fuck you up. Don't think for a minute. She will fuck you up. And she's like, I ain't going. These people, Ron and Tony feed us.
Yeah.
Ron and Tony feed us. Yeah. And that's the only way Diablo could eat is if Buttercup left and then she could come over to us and we could feed her because Buttercup would just
knock it all out.
Yeah, I'm telling you though, I was out there messing around one time and I think Diablo was in a bad mood. And she comes over to me and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to punch this cow in the forehead, man. Because he's coming at me and these are huge. I mean, they're full-grown Red Angus. And she's coming over, she's walking to me and I'm like, oh, please be in a good mood. Oh. So I kind of stood my ground and stuck my hand out. And I was raised around them. I know what to do. But I'm like, I will grab that nose and twist that nose off of you so fast. You don't know, man.
You think it's a pull cord on
Oh,
a toy
no.
when I'm done with it.
Oh, the a horse can't breathe out of its mouth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's why if you see on these rodeos, people will pinch their nose. They do whatever you tell them to do. Pinch that nose. They're like, hey, because they can't breathe.
So you put your hand over your mouth and nose, you're going to stop doing what you're doing and
Right.
listen.
Yeah. So all you do is you just pinch their nose, and that's also very tender. So when they put the bridle on, they run the shank over their nose. It looks like a dog leash, a dog collar, the metal
Right.
dog collar.
Yeah.
You snap on that shank a little bit, that horse is like, I got you, buddy.
I'm
And
good.
if that don't work, there's something called a twitch. A twitch is basically a rope on the end of an axe handle, a rope about as big around as the thumb, an adult thumb,
Right.
probably about 6 inches long, makes a 4-inch loop. You put his lip in there and twist it, the bottom of his lip, and twist it in there. I know how to make a thoroughbred act like a grown up. I'm telling you.
You can bring him to water and make him
You,
drink.
you can do it. I'm telling you, man. I grew up around them, and I hated them. I hated them because they were so mean. And it was always because I was
Horses, you got to be redundant with them like every day because they're so stupid they forget.
I don't know that they're stupid. I just know that they're hard headed. And
Yeah, I guess that's the
and-
proper word. They're hard-headed.
and they're gonna do what they want. Dad was terrific with them, but I'm not Dad. You know, it's like one of my friends growing up. He said, I said something on my car. He goes, hey, I got it. My dad's a mechanic. I said, well, my dad's a butcher.
But don't mean I can cut up meat.
I ain't finna cut up meat. Stay the hell away from my shit.
Just because you know how to open the hood doesn't make you a mechanic.
Yeah, my dad could skin out a hog and a cow both in about 20 minutes and be done with it. It'd take me 6 days. Meat would be rotten before I got done trying to figure out where the pork chops were. Are you kidding me? You ain't coming near my car with a wrench.
I'd like to drive it again someday.
Just say that his name was James Thurville. He said, well, this weekend I put a 454 in a Craftsman lawnmower.
Yeah.
And I said, look, James, man, I believe a lot of shit, bro.
But that ain't gonna be one of them.
But I'm not swallowing that hook. He goes, no, man, it happened. I did it. I'm like, okay, I'll tell you what. Me and Glenn Swift, we're gonna ride over to your house.
You're gonna see this.
We're gonna see this. We don't want to ride it. We don't want to drive it. We just want to see it because. And old Glenn, my cousin, he's like, a lawnmower frame won't even hold the motor. He's
Couldn't
like
hold
the
a small
tires.
block, let alone a
He
454.
said the tires would pop before you even dropped it down off the cherry picker.
Shit, I get on it when I was 300 pounds and the back tires would squat.
And I'm like, and he's like, no, we did it. Anyway, he never invited us over.
Yeah, funny thing, you never did see it, huh?
Well, he was like, oh well, maybe next week.
Let me get it painted up first.
Dad's home. He's busy. I don't know. He was. He had a habit about that. His family. Now, I wouldn't have put it past him if it was possible. He would have done it. His dad on the
I guess anything's possible, it just may not be functional.
right. His dad on the big old junkyard called PTL. Stood for Praise the Lord. They were Christian people. His daddy and mom and daddy were real Christian people. And they also had a mechanic. They were mechanics, but
Right.
they would just use that junkyard to go and pull.
It was the first stat.
Yeah, it was a part staff. And they can pick up old junk cars. Most of the time, the junk cars have one specific thing wrong with them, but everything else on the car is fine.
Right.
And my dad always told me if the front's wrecked, buy the motor and the transmission because it was running when they wrecked it. You got a pretty good chance that everything's working.
Right?
There's a better chance than not if it's wrecked. If it's up there as a whole car,
Just rusting into the ground.
Yeah.
Chances are the motor, the
there's a
transmission.
reason something one of those two elements. He goes, but if it's all smashed up in the front, if there's not too much damage done towards the front of the motor, buy that shit because
Probably got a good motor.
yeah, that was always his way. That's how we always put motors in the junk truck.
Yeah.
Because you can't give a 15-year-old when we were kids, you can't give a 12-year-old a truck and say go on out there and feed them cows in that truck and not expect it to come back with fucked up shit in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we would tear up fields, and Dad would know it because Micanopy grass is green, and I don't mean the marijuana, and there's a lot of that. Tom Petty even sings about marijuana and Micanopy in one of his songs. But you can tell. I
He's
mean,
dead now.
Huh?
He's
I
dead.
know heroin addict. But you can stand up on the top floor of our house and look down, and most of everywhere that we drive is all clear. The rest is all forest behind me, and you can that could tell everywhere we went. If we would lazy kids, he would say, "Take this garbage to the dump." He'd know within 30 minutes if we took it to the dump or if we dumped it out there on the property somewhere. If we dumped it out there on the property somewhere,
You're going back.
you did that once, maybe twice. If you're like me and hard headed, you do it twice. That second time, you're getting your ass whipped. And
They had 8x10 colored glasses, picture
Ooh.
numbered arrows on the back of each one.
I love that movie. That was good. The song was good, but the movie was great. That was a great movie. Anyway, I want to remind everybody that we've got the monster truck event on December 7th. We've got the I want you to check out the Sugar Sand Distillery that our friendly host Tim here told me about. I'd never heard of it. It's on Hen Scratch Road, which I'm never going to find. And then there is also the Paint a Gnome over at Turn 2 Brewery tomorrow night, starting at, I don't know, 6, from 6 to 10. So go give them a holler. Take $45 and tip your waitress.
All right.
We got to go work on my tire. Have a good day, everybody.
Peace out.
Peace out. Almost peace out.
Beer out.
Well, almost. Everybody just rushes me. Y'all know that I'm slow.
Oh, we had the thing running pretty
No,
scheduled.
everything is running terrifically. I mean, everything's going great. There's a system.
Not always the best system.
No, but
But it
there's a system. And oh no. God, I can't know. I'm just so stupid. Sometimes I go through this. This is why sometimes I should end the show 5 minutes sooner. Because my attention to detail only is going to carry us so far.
You're good for 40, not 45.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Sometimes it's like that. You can find this is the guy that sings our theme song. His link will be in the description to find his other music, and he's got some really great stuff out there. His name is Old Cracker here on YouTube.
Drinking in the AM's a sin. Old Cracker's just hanging with his old friend. Beer for breakfast, what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Again, pop that top. Again, sun pounding on your head. Beer, take care of that. Beer for breakfast, that's what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Pop that top, that's what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Again, pop that top. Again, beer for breakfast, that's what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Beers bitching abound enough. Incentive when that morning comes. Beer for breakfast. Amen.